Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com, a 100% free service for smart investors and traders. All we ask in return, please refer a friend. Today we're going to be looking at the volume indicator. On the hierarchy of needs for traders, price should be paramount. It's the number one indicator out there. But volume should be a close second because it substantiates the move of price. Whenever you're looking at a volume indicator, a lot of guys will just overlook it and don't pay much attention to it, but there's a lot that you can learn about it, and including divergences in it. So there's different signals you can get from it. Let's show a few right here. In this volume indicator here, you'll notice that the bars are colored red and green. That won't be the case in all charting programs that you guys are using out there. It's an option here at stockcharts.com, so I have it set that way. It's visually appealing, very easy for me to just glance at it and know whether the volume was buy volume or sell volume on the day. The way they calculate that is the same way they do so with the on-balance volume. If this particular candlestick here, you can see that it closed was higher than the previous candlestick, therefore they assume all of the buying or all the volume behind there was buy pressure and was buy volume. In a situation where reversed, where the close of the candlestick is less or lower than the previous candlestick, then all of the volume associated with that is sell volume, or calculated that way. Whenever you're looking at volume, you can do many different things. The first thing you're going to notice here is I have a red line right here. It's a moving average, simple moving average of volume across the entire chart, and that tells me the average volume for the period that I'm looking at over all this time. The average daily volume, because I'm looking at daily chart, would be roughly right now just over 200 million shares. Okay, so whenever I have bars that fall above that, or let's start with below that, whenever I have bars that fall below that, like we have here, then I know that I am below average of daily volume, and it's not a strong move. There's not a lot of momentum to it. There's not going to be a lot of strength behind it, and that's not likely to be enough volume to break out to new highs. So I'm going to need to see an increase of volume to actually support a breakout to new highs. And I also would like to know why we have low volume here. That's a question you need to ask yourself. In this particular situation, we're just getting done with the Christmas week, and we're at the end of the year, so we have the holiday trading going on. That's typically low volume, so that makes sense right there. However, over here you'll notice we have low volume as well. What is this all about? Is this more Christmas time? No, it was before December, so maybe it had to do with the Thanksgiving holiday, possibly, but there's something else at play here. Whenever you have a major move to the downside and then you see volume decrease exponentially, you're likely seeing the end of that move to the downside. Just like you would see if you would advance and then run out of volume, it's likely to get wiped out pretty easy. So that's important to note. It can show you where a bottom may be developing. Another thing you can spot here is that whenever you look at this particular candlestick here, look at the volume associated with this particular day, and it's the highest volume on the chart. It is buy volume, and it substantiates the reversal here. You can see this reversal here, but if it had been just average volume, how do you know it's really the bottom? You don't. But if the situation sets up where you have substantial buy volume behind it, you know it's likely to be a true bottom here and likely to continue to move higher. More importantly, if you look at the two candlesticks prior, look at the volume here and here. Alright, it's lower, less than the volume on the buy side that we're seeing here. This is showing a bullish engulfing by the volume indicator that has not actually happened yet in price. So someone could actually conclude that price activity will break out above these bars, just like it did with the volume. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Clean that chart up a bit. You can also notice that whenever you have a strong volume like this here, when you have a really strong buy volume, you know that by looking at the candlestick, they're willing to buy it up all the way to this point very substantially. They're very strong right here. At this level, they're interested at that price level. So when you have a pullback later and you start to come down towards that level, you know the closer you get to that level, the more likely you're going to find that same exact buy pressure support there. And sure enough, you get close to it, you reverse back to the upside. Some of you guys may already know that there is an indicator out there that takes volume and compares it by price. So it would analyze all of the volume for this time period and break it into where it fell. So if you have strong volume at this level, it would show it to you just by on this side of the chart. There'd be bars out here. I can show you guys that later. But so this is the information that other indicators are based on. that you can glean just by glancing at your chart. Another thing you can do when you're looking at volume is wait for the situation to reverse. Where you've had a strong buy day here, she advances to the upside, and you keep watching the sell days and the buy days, and you wait for a situation where volume is superseded, buy volume is superseded by sell volume. In this situation here, we see that. Note the high points, volume is increasing to the upside on buy volume, and then all of a sudden it gets engulfed bearishly by sell volume on this particular day. Now, when a situation occurs where you have a close at the lower half of a candlestick, then it's sell volume. So that's what they're showing you here. And you get a move to the upside, and you get confirmation again here. You get another sell side back at the exact same level, and you'll notice the volume was substantial. Not as great as it was the previous day, but it was substantial. So you may start to realize by looking at this that you may actually have a sell zone or a sell area here that's actually taking place. And that's exactly what happened. You sold off back down to it. Bounced back up here, found resistance at the exact same level, and pulled back off of it again. Bounced up here to the same level, and now we're just kind of playing around at this level. Please take a moment to review our disclaimer. The information provided herein is our opinion only. Under no circumstances do any statements here represent a recommendation to buy or sell securities or make any kind of an investment. You are responsible for your own due diligence. To summarize, we do not provide investment advice, nor do we make any claims or promises that any information here will lead to a profit, loss, or any other result. These videos are for educational purposes only.